Todd Parsons, and what's the name of your company?
BuzzLogic.
BuzzLogic, and you're co-founder of BuzzLogic, is that right?
Indeed.
So this is a measurement segment, so I know something about you. You must have something to do with measurement. Just what does BuzzLogic, actually let's back up a little further. How did BuzzLogic start? When did it start? Who are some of your customers?
Well, we started in June of 2004, so we're just over 3 years old now. And you know, the inspiration for our company back then was working with some of the early adopters in the blog space, corporate folks in the blog space, to help them understand how influential they were when they blogged, or how influential people they listened to were in blogging about subjects they cared about. So today BuzzLogic does exactly that. We provide a technology that helps marketers understand who's the most influential in an online conversation about a specific topic at any given point in time.
Well, I mean, I think that our unique proposition is the ability to, or it's our core focus is our influence algorithm, which really delineates who is the important people who are the important bloggers that really need to do outreach to, who are the ones that are going to make the highest impact. And, you know, we do that through a number of different factors that we've kind of been, focusing and building for the last 3 years. So
I'm going to take you into our demo, and we can kind of look at what makes BuzzLogic unique. Earlier on, we were talking about the iPhone and battery life. One of the conversations that I have BuzzLogic monitoring is iPhone battery life, not too surprisingly. And what I'm going to take you to right away is the meat of our application, and that is, who are the influencers driving the conversation on iPhone battery life? Now you're going to see the output, the general output of BuzzLogic that all of our users get. And here, you've got a list of the influential blogs. We calculate how much audience generally might be had by this blog. This is more of a popularity number. It's not how influential it is. And so this is what we call our social map. And what this is it shows the 8th most influential post that's been written by the unofficial Apple weblog and the audience that it is gathering. So you can see here that 71 other posts have actually brought their audiences over to this 8th most influential post. And I can draw any detail about those folks simply by mousing over them and clicking on them, so I get a nice little summary of what they've said in relation to this post. So above this black line, you can think of everybody who's linking into this post as being influenced by the post. Now below, what we're looking at is, who is the post referencing? So Shel, when you blog and you actually track someone back, or you link to them and refer to them, you're pointing your audience to them. In effect, you're giving them credibility, and it's a gesture of either trust or at least recognition for, let's go here and take a look at what this other person is saying. And that's what BuzzLogic is tracking beneath the line. So we can see, in effect, who's influencing the influencer in this conversation. It's a very different way of measuring than, for instance, counting, which we see a lot. You know, there are this many mentions of a certain term like iPhone and battery, or, you know, this is the number of times that the term was mentioned in a given post that someone has blogged about. That's more of a, I'm going to count things, as opposed to looking at all the dynamic connections between people who are writing and sharing their thoughts about that subject.
We work with everyone from like PBS Kids Sprout, which is, it's like an online TV show that kind of follows a toddler throughout the progress of their day, to Publicis, which is like a huge global, communications firm. So, I mean, these guys are really trying to figure out what people are saying, whether it's salacious or not, both about their brands, about their products, about, their competitors, and then figure out, how can I get this information and actually do something with it that's meaningful, that's going to help me. And that gets to the measurement point of, what are they measuring, and how can that metric map back to ROI for what their programs are.
The Harlequin Romance Group. I mean, this is that's a pretty well known.
That's juicy.
Maybe not a household name, and yeah, probably a little steaminess going on in there somewhere. But same thing, same basic approach there. find the influencers driving conversations about romance novels, and then provide tools back to those particular bloggers that they could share with their audiences. In this case, it was a survey, a romance survey. It happened to be like their most subscribed in history, their most used in history, because it was the influencers on romance novels asking their audiences to participate. It wasn't Harlequin out there, shtupping books. It's a different gig now, and I think marketers who understand how to interact with the influencers and their audiences are darn successful. So it's a lot more fun game to play now than it was when the corporates were going after their first blogs in 2004, to your point.